All right, well, a good Tuesday evening to you. I am First Alert Meteorologist David Ernst here with a live weather update. Thank you for tuning in. Amy Beth, nice to see you in here. Yeah, it's some crazy weather we've got going on for sure. It's April. Not an April Fool's joke. Today's April 2nd, but we are nonetheless dealing with some very winter-like weather as we go through the rest of the night and a good part of Wednesday as well. If you have not already done so, you can head over to my Facebook page. It's David Ernst, WBAY Meteorologist. You can throw it a follow. I've also got the QR code down beneath my picture here, so you could scan that for our free WBAY First Alert weather app. Great way to stay informed of the latest weather conditions. You've got your interactive radar in there. Live updates like this can be pushed to the app. I usually don't do the winter updates live, but in severe weather, we can send those to the app and stream them there. Of course, we're streaming this to Facebook on the WBAY TV2 page. Hopefully, you have our news app. You would have gotten a push alert for that. It's on YouTube. So we're trying to put this in as many places as we can so you can find it. And of course, we'll have an update for Action 2 News at 10 o'clock coming up here in about 50 minutes. Your severe weather outlook, it's in the high category. We've got heavy snow and strong winds. If you've looked out your window at any point this evening, you have undoubtedly noticed that. And we will continue to see these issues mount, travel issues and perhaps some power outages too. We have had numerous reports of that. Let me go ahead and get my radar imagery pulled up here. In fact, before I get to the radar, what you'll see is the power outages. That's what we've got pulled up on our Viper Max computer right now. And so these are the current outages that we have in the area. You'll notice in Marinette County in particular seems to be the worst, or at least that's where we've got the most outages reported, about 14,000 customers without power, but more than 1,000 in right on 1,000 in Fond du Lac, 5,500 for Brown County, Door County, 4,500 Menominee, Wisconsin, 4,500 from Menominee, Michigan, and 2,000 in Menominee, Wisconsin, 8,500 in Outagamie County. This is a heavy, wet snow, and it is sticking to anything. In fact, we've heard it at times falling off of satellite dishes or our tower and banging onto the roof here at the TV station. So it sticks, and then eventually it melts and falls. But that adds a lot of water weight to trees and power lines, so you can get branches snapping and other problems brought about by that. In addition to those issues, obviously it's snowing, and that can create headaches on the roads. Now, we're getting to a time of the evening where traffic is not as heavy, but a lot of this was coming down while we did have a number of folks out on the roads for that evening drive. So here is the current map from the Wisconsin DOT in northeastern Wisconsin. I'll get it set so my computer will pull that up, and you'll notice just about everywhere in the local area either showing snow-covered roads or slippery stretches. Getting some new snow reports in here. Oshkosh, Winnebago County, 5.5 inches. That was as of 8 p.m., 8:40 p.m., 4.8 inches in Wautoma. 3.5 measured in Alloway at 8:15. Horicon, Dodge County, kind of out of our area. Let's see, I've got a 7.2 inch report out of Greenville in Outagamie County, right by the airport there. 6.3 Hortonville, measured in Iola, 6 inches. And of course, we're just getting into things right now. So that obviously you would anticipate some travel issues because of that heavy wet snow. Here is the current radar and satellite loop. This is over the last 3 hours. And what you'll notice, let me get, Brian's watching, get the red arrow in here. The main area of low pressure is kind of circulating right here over southern Lake Michigan, and it's going to kind of just hang out as we go through the night and into Wednesday. So that will continue to pull moisture from the Gulf of Mexico right over lower Michigan, upper Michigan, and then right back down into our area. And it could certainly lead to some heavier bands of snow setting up where that low is. Typically, you'll find the heaviest snowfall is 100, 125, perhaps 150 miles or so to the northwest of the center of that low pressure. I'm going to go ahead and we'll see if I get lucky here and can click it in. Yes, it worked. I have two different computer screens, and I had my mouse on one, and I just wanted to switch over to the radar. So we're able to do that. So I can drive First Alert Viper Max right now. You'll notice that the deeper shades of blue, that's going to be where you've got your heavier snow. So you can see one band from Sturgeon Bay right down here through Kewaunee County and down towards Sheboygan. And then you can pick up on some additional heavier snowfall coming off the bay right through Green Bay, and then kind of down towards Kaukauna, Appleton, and perhaps Sherwood, that area, northern parts of Calumet County is where it looks like we're seeing that. So we will continue to see snow, in similar spots as we go through the night. Now, I did have someone mention hearing some thunder. Let's see if anything is showing up. Don't have any strikes reported in the last 5 minutes. That does not mean, though, that we didn't have any. With low pressure that close by and the snow coming down as heavily as it is, it certainly would not surprise me if we have some thunder or lightning. Just checking, looks like these are all just warning statements. So just reiterating that we have a winter storm warning out, winter weather advisory for Sheboygan County, excuse me. There is a blizzard warning up into upper Michigan. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you that. And then we'll build into the forecast here and let you know the details of what we would expect snowfall-wise for the remainder of the event, as well as any issues as we get into your Wednesday. But I will say, Amy Beth, yeah, good eye. That is Brad in the background. He is helping out with elections. It's a busy night in Wisconsin as we've got election coverage going on tonight, in addition to this busy weather. So you see on your screen there, I've got everybody in white. That's a winter storm warning, and notice the pink there. That's a blizzard warning up into upper Michigan. At least we won't have to deal with that, but we're very close to blizzard conditions. Let me get my, that's the prediction. Let me see if I can find just the plain old observational map of visibility in here. There it is. Now, this might have a legend that says fog on it, because that's typically what we would use visibility for. There we go. So it doesn't say fog on it, just visibility, but half a mile for Appleton, 1 mile in Green Bay, 1 3/4 in Oshkosh. So, we have a lot of 1 to 2 mile visibilities being reported because of that heavy snowfall. Wind speeds right now are generally sustained up close to 20, 25 miles per hour in many spots. Green Bay at 32. It's a very stiff wind. You'll definitely notice that if you're outside doing anything. I'll check temperatures, but temperatures are really not too important right now. We do have readings hovering above freezing, but it is just a sloppy, wet snow that's falling. This is not leading to melting or anything like that. It will still it is accumulating. I shouldn't say start to accumulate, but it is going to compress down, that's for sure. So let's get into the forecast then with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. You should notice across the bottom of your screen, I do have some school closings. I was told by the newsroom staff that we already have 40 school districts reporting some sort of closure for tomorrow. So if you are not on spring break and you're going, then check the bottom of your screen for updates on that. I'm going to put a few pause points in here, so that's why you're going to see the map bounce around for just a little bit, just so I can play through this and comment on what you're seeing. But I think we're pretty good here. We'll put that right towards the end, and we'll set that right in the middle of the afternoon. All right, so we'll pick this up. This is First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. And actually, let me go into the graphic here. I want to turn the wind speed on too, just so you can see that. So bear with me for a second while I edit this graphic. Just a little behind the scenes magic, if you will. This is something that usually gets taken care of ahead of time, but it's been a very busy afternoon, and so I forgot to turn that back on. All right, so let's back in here. So as we go through the night, we will see these snow showers continue. You'll notice 9 p.m. to midnight. You start to see a little dry air down towards Sheboygan, and that would extend into Milwaukee. In fact, that is a trend that we're noticing on radar, but check out those winds. Sustained 26 miles an hour, gusting to 42. Looking through the rest of the night and into Wednesday morning, those speeds really don't change too much. So wind gusts generally 35 to 50 miles per hour overnight tonight. Wind speeds sustained between 20 and 30 miles per hour. Snow ongoing for a good part of the night, at least from the Fox Valley and to the north and west. We may at times get some drier air right along the lakeshore and could also see a little bit of mixing, some rain and sleet cutting into those snow totals. We will continue with a band of snow across the area. Now that band is somewhat dependent on where the low ends up moving. If it meanders a little farther to the west, then you see that heavier snow band push to the west. If the low moves a little farther to the east than what we're forecasting, that heavier snow band will shift a little farther east as well. We'll continue with that batch of heavier snow, though, through at least the early to mid-afternoon tomorrow, and then it does start to become a bit more isolated in nature and should let up some, but there likely is still some snow flying in northeastern Wisconsin throughout tomorrow evening and even into the night and Thursday. We could see some additional snowfall. So this is map of forecast snow totals, and you'll notice that through our I-41 corridor, there are a lot of us in that 8 to 10, 12-inch range, and the potential is there for more snow as you start getting up into the North Woods. And I don't have any totals plotted up there, but right at the top of the screen, you can see those pink colors developing in upper Michigan. That's where some of the heaviest snow will fall because you'll get some lake enhancement off of Lake Superior there. Looks like more just warning statements, so no new reports. If you have any snow totals to measure, please, by all means, send them our way, and we will report those. Brenda, no power in Kachina. Yeah, unfortunately, that is something that we'll be dealing with. Parts of Wrightstown and Dale, Medina also as well. Stephen, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, we had the power outage map up at the top of the weathercast here, and there are quite a few areas without power for sure. Good part of all of our main population areas, Outagamie, Brown, Winnebago counties, all reporting 5,000 or more without power, and into Marinette County in particular. That's one of the areas that seems to have more outages than elsewhere. So again, these are snowfall totals through the night and into your day tomorrow. You're looking at, I would call it a widespread 6 to 12-inch snowfall. You will notice the exception down there towards the lake shore, inch to 3, 4 for places like Sheboygan and Manitowoc. We're going to see some mixing and some drier air down there, and so that is the reason why we're not going to expect as much snow right along the lakeshore. But if you get farther inland in those counties, then you're right into that 6 to 12 inches, and depending on where those bands set up, you certainly could find yourself on the heavier side of that. It really is just going to be where that band lines up overnight tonight. Where do we see the heaviest snow persisting for an extended period of time? And that could be just about anywhere. So we'll continue with the strong winds and the snow falling down. Power outages will be an issue tonight as we go through your day tomorrow. Temperatures don't warm up a whole lot. We're in the middle 30s right now, and our highs tomorrow, upper 30s. So there may be some minor melting, but more than anything else, it's just going to be the snow kind of compacting and compressing down. So it may end up measuring out at 8, 10, 12 inches. By the time you look at it tomorrow, if you haven't moved any of it, it may only look like 6, but it's definitely going to feel more like 12 or 14 when you're pulling it out. There is a lot of water weight to this snow, and that is evidenced by all the power outages that we have seen. So have your phones charged up, ready to go if you still have power, and be mindful that it may take crews a little bit of time to get things sorted out. The roads are a slushy mess outside of the main well-traveled routes. Anything that's secondary that the plows have not gotten to, just going to be snow covered and just, like I said, a slushy mess. When I was walking out in the parking lot, it was like someone spilled a Slurpee. You could just feel the water pressing out of the snow as you moved around. So this is a very heavy, wet snow, and it is definitely going to be a tough one to move. I will go ahead and pull actually, before we do that, I sometimes do like to show the summary guidance from the WPC. And what you're seeing here is the computer guidance that the Weather Prediction Center for the United States government runs. This is kind of a summary of all the computer snowfall totals. And this is the 50th percentile. So that would say half of the models say you get more snow than what's on the screen, and half would say less. So it's a good middle of the road. And you'll notice that most of us in the deep shade of blue there would be expecting 6 to 10 inches, and that lines up pretty well with the snowfall map that I had. But you'll notice also, as you start getting into Forest and Florence, Marinette counties, you do see those 10 plus readings, so there is the potential for more. And if we see that snow band persist farther south, you certainly could end up with 12 or 14 inches down towards Green Bay or Appleton, but that'll be a function of that snow band. Speaking of the high-end potential here, this is the 90th percentile, so what you're looking at here, 10% of computer guidance says you could still get more than this, but the other 90% says you get less, so there's still the potential you see this much. It's just, a 10% chance or less. Again, we have some pretty big numbers on there. The pink shaded contour, let me go ahead and grab my, again, the red arrow. Oops, wrong button. Just to point that out, what I'm talking about. This pink contour, that pink line right there, that's 10 inches of snow. It wraps around the bottom of the screen and then comes back around. That's 10 inches. So that's 12 right there, the white line, and that white line is 15, and then this is 18 and 21 as you start getting into upper Michigan. But that's kind of the realistic high side of this, is that we could end up with close to a foot, maybe 15 inches right along that I-41 corridor. Now, that is going to be what is measured. Like I said, it may not look like that when you look out the window because this is going to be melting and compressing down. but we are certainly in store to see some very heavy snowfall overnight tonight, and it's going to be a difficult task moving it tomorrow. So what happens once all this is done? Well, we'll play through the European weather model here. By 7 a.m. Friday, you'll see some sunshine already starting to break back out. Looks like we'll have a mostly sunny start to the weekend. On Sunday, however, there looks to be another system that comes in that night, and that could bring some snow, or some rain showers, excuse me, not snow for this one. Mild enough as we get into Sunday night. Monday morning, some snow or some rainfall moving through and scattered rain showers over the course of the day Monday. Unfortunately, it doesn't bode well for the eclipse. We'll see if things change up. We're obviously still 6 days away, so there's time for that to change. But obviously, if we have the clouds overhead and it's raining, kind of difficult to see a solar eclipse. More warning statements, so no new reports there. All right, so with that, I suppose we're getting close enough to 9:30. I have to do an update for our 24/7 weather channel. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with the 7-day forecast on your screen here. Hopefully you're able to stay safe if you have any traveling to do. Main roads aren't in bad shape from my experience as I was driving around this evening. They're a little slushy, but you start getting off into the secondary roads and they turn messy in a hurry, and I would imagine as we go through the night and the snow continues that we are going to see even those main roads start to get into rougher and rougher shape. So bottom line is tomorrow morning's commute, expect it to be slow, expect it to be slippery, snow-covered, slushy roads. We will see the snow start to taper off late in the day on Wednesday, become more isolated in nature, but could still be problematic. So with that, looks like we're headed for brighter skies through the end of the week once this batch of snow and wintry mix moves on. And check those temperatures out as we head into next week. Could have highs approaching 60 by the middle of next week. So we'll see you on Action 2 News coming up at 10 o'clock. Hope you have a great night. Stay safe.